Alright, today is a video that I've been looking forward to. And I'm going to go ahead and say I apologize for all the noise in the background. They're paving our road, so there's nowhere on the property I can go for this to be quiet. But what we're going to do today is use this brand new, I've never used it before, just got back from the store, Stihl 2-in-1 sharpener. I have always sent my chains to a local dealer to be ground down and sharpened professionally, because you've just always heard the horror stories of if you don't get it exactly right, you wind up dulling your chain, or it's just hard to get right. So for the last forever, actually, this will be my first time ever sharpening a chainsaw chain. Like I said, I've always carried it off. But I've watched videos online. These are supposedly so easy, and I won't call them foolproof, but it appears to be that way. So I'm gonna try this out, and if it works as good as they claim, I'm gonna go get a different one for my smaller saw, my Stihl MS-170, because what I didn't realize about these is you get these for different size chains. They have a 1/4 inch, a 3/8, and a 3/25, which is what I have on my bigger saw. My smaller saw is a 3/8. So if you look at them, they're actually labeled right there on it, 0.325, what chain that it's for. So what I'm going to do is a quick comparison. I've been using this chain for a while. You've seen me cut wood on the channel with this. I actually can't remember the last time it was sharpened by a dealer. So it's went through a lot of trees. It's got a lot of use on it. I'm gonna do a few quick cuts with this dull chain that I'll call it, and then I'll try to sharpen with the 2-in-1 sharpener, and we'll see if I can actually sharpen a chain with that, if it's as easy as they claim that it is. And I'm expecting it to cut faster. Also going to look at the chips and fines that come out the back, because one way that you can tell if a chain's getting dull is if you start getting less chips and more sawdust. And I'm starting to see that as I'm cutting with this one. So we'll check those out as well. Sadly, what I'm cutting has a little bit of a rotten outside edge, but the inside is still really solid. And this is what we call water oak down here in the south, just a type of oak tree that we have. I don't have any green trees, and I'm not cutting a green tree down to do this test, but this is something I'm getting ready to split up for firewood anyways. So the inside or center is still pretty solid, and I think it'll be fine for this test. I'm going to cut them both on the same exact piece of wood, so regardless if this is seasoned or somewhat rotten, it should still show the difference if this is going to get my chain sharper. So I'm going to go ahead and make a couple quick cuts with the dull chain. Then we'll sharpen it up, come back, make a couple more cuts on this same piece, and see if it cuts any faster. All right, and as you can see, here are the fines off of that cut. Some chunks in there, but starting to get a bit powdery. To me, that tells me my chain's getting dull. And like I said, I've been using the same chain for quite a while. There's definitely a lot more dust in this. So I'll kick this out of the way. We're gonna sharpen this chain up. All right, now this has an arrow on it on what direction you're supposed to push. You don't pull this, from my understanding. So I'm going to push only. And I don't know if y'all can see, these teeth go this direction and this direction. So the teeth are going this direction. I'll try to match up with that angle. I'll follow that one, skip one, file this one, skip one, and then you'll come back on the other side of the chain to file these that are going this direction. And I think I'm going to make 5 strokes per tooth and try to keep it all even. Now it's best to do this in a vise from my understanding, but I'm just doing it out here in the field. That way I can get right back to cutting. Now I'm using the yellow full chisel chain. These chains are marked with a green or yellow depending on what type of chain that you have. So I'm going to start just after that yellow mark. That way when I get back around to it, I know I've fully sharpened this one side. All right, now the key here is what this is supposed to do is not only does it have a round file in it to file the tooth, but there's these rakers on there, and a lot of people forget to file the rakers down. So that doesn't actually allow the tooth to get down into the wood and cut as well. Because this has a flat file on it, this is supposed to take care of both of them at the same time and do it perfectly, so they claim. So we're going to see. All right, I'm going to make sure I get my angle correct. I'm just matching this up with the tooth. I'm going to go forward. Forgot to mention this is on a Stihl MS260 Pro with an 18-inch bar. So I'm also going to go ahead and time myself and see how long it takes. It's 2:44 right now. All right, now I'm going to flip it around and go the other direction. I'm going to start back at that yellow mark, the tooth right behind it, and move forward. All right, I've made it back around. So let's see, how long did that take? Like it took me about 5 minutes, and that's me just kind of taking my time and figuring it out. There's no doubt in my mind I think you could get that down a minute or two, so not bad. Now the real test, was 5 strokes enough? I don't know. Does this thing work? We're about to find out. Let's see how much quicker, if any, these cuts are. Well, was it quicker? I won't know until I get back and edit, but I can tell you it sure felt quicker. And I can already tell that looks a whole lot better. I could probably sharpen that even more, but I'm actually getting chips now, not dust. So I'll have to experiment, around with this. Was 5 strokes enough? Should I have went more? Should I have went less? I don't know. But I'm not seeing a bunch of powder in here now after only 5 strokes. Seeing good chips, and it sure felt quicker to me. Like I said, I still got to go edit the video, see how much quicker, if any, it was, but it sure felt better. I can already tell looking at the chips, it made a difference. I'm gonna go ahead and say this is a winner. Very easy, 5 minutes to do my chain. Like I said, this is my first time ever. I can probably get that down to 3 or 4 minutes, which is nothing. You carry this in the woods with you. I think I'm gonna go ahead and get the second smaller one for my MS-170, because I don't know how your dealer is, but chains at my dealer are around $23 to $25 a piece. And I paid a little over 40 bucks for this, so this is less than 2 chains. So in my mind, getting several sharpenings and uses out of a chain, this will pay for itself in no time. Just keeping a couple chains up, I can see where I feel like I'm getting my money back here. I don't have to be scared of sharpening no more. This makes it foolproof, like they say. It's got guides, it's real simple, arrows what direction to go. All you do is just line it up with the angle of the tooth. 5 strokes is what I done. I'll experiment down the road. I might try 3 strokes, might try 6 or 7, but I don't know that I want to get any more than that, because I could already tell I was taking off a decent amount of metal. I don't think you want to take too much off. You're just trying to get that, you know, a nice edge on that tooth again. So I think it's going to be a winner, but we're going to go back, edit the video. I'll throw some times up, and we can take a look and know for sure. And if I get the other one for my little saw, which I think I'm going to do, I'll make another video, being that that's a different type of chain, smaller chain, and see if I get the same results.